So we're in a pretty weird spot with gaming headsets right now, especially for this year. And I'm sure many of us have noticed as we're not getting new updated gaming headsets. We're kind of getting refreshed. It's just like the car market, right? That mid-year refresh cycle, and then 7 or 5 years, whatever, you get that totally redesigned. But right now, we're just in that kind of refresh and update, just like we saw with the new Razer Black Shark V3 Pros. Like, awesome updates and improvements, especially features and functions, so definitely cool. But again, it's not a new product, you know what I mean? We're not seeing much of that, and that goes for many companies: Razer, HyperX, and then these that I just dropped right here, the VZR Model 1 version 2s. Some mild updates that I want to show you. Now, if some of you are just curious and want to know what the differences are here, I want to show you that real quick so I don't waste any of your time. But if you want to hear about the differences and the experience of the differences, stick through the whole video. But real quick, what you get in your box, you're going to see some key differences, right? Number one being your cables. Now, you do still get your splitter. You get an extension here, which I highly appreciate because this cable is a little bit short, as I use an amp that's all the way across my desk. So very much appreciated there. You still get your microphone with the little blocker right there and the windscreen included, but you're noticing the cables are rubber coated now, which I really appreciate, as the previous cables were this cloth and they were flat right there. So it's constantly just kind of getting like tangled up like this on my desk. You just got to be in that perfect position. Now, the biggest difference you're going to notice are these ear pads. As you see right now, you got that pleather outside, pleather inside, perforated holes on the back, and then you have that velour on the top right there. Now, coming over looking at the original version, you remember they had these fully pleather ear pads right here. Still the perforations inside right there, and then on the back as well, super plush and comfy for sure, but they locked in that heat big time, and they also locked in that sound big time. Now, what you're noticing different here, again, you got that velour, so very nice, soft to touch. But also, the other thing, I'm not sure if you noticed, is this little bitten right here. They call this the talisman or something like that. And as you can see, you got the little plastic bit, and then I guess a leather coating going around it right there, which is supposed to help out with the sound. Now, let me go on and get this, and this is gonna kind of explain it a little bit better for you. I like talking about my experience listening to them, and that's what I'm gonna deliver to you, but you can read over this and see what it's talking about here. And flipping this over too, they're also going to talk about some of the other differences. Now, I also want to do a microphone test and comparison from the old ones, which you're listening to right now, to the new ones, as in their email here, they also stated upgraded or refined microphone clarity. I can't read it, the print is so small here. Redesigned microphone circuitry and optimized wiring results in clearer and more accurate voice capture, lower noise, and increased gains. So anyways, as far as this microphone right now, we're just straight up recorded, no EQs, no tweaking, nothing fancy. I am running through my K7, by the way, and it does come with that splitter for it. But again, no tweaking. You're hearing the old one right now. But what I'm going to do is go in and plug in the new ones and see if we notice any improvement. Okay, hopefully we are synced up right there, and now you're hearing the new microphone. Now, one thing I'll tell you, I don't use a gaming microphone that often. I use my Elgato Wave 3 if I use mics, but hearing myself talk over here with them, it's pretty interesting because, again, with the fully pleather ear pads, you're definitely blocking off everything. It goes right in line with sound, like I talked about. Now I can hear myself a little bit more, significantly more right here, right? It's not like massive where I feel like I'm yelling, but I can just hear myself more. Just wanted to bring that up. But of course, we're testing the microphone. Same settings. Didn't dabble. Didn't tweak anything. Just straight plugged and played here. We do have the new cables, which, okay, I was about to say, do I have this thing on mute? Your inline controls here are still the exact same. You got the mute and unmute right there. But man, I can't say it enough. I love this rubber-coated cable right here. It just doesn't stick or get tangled up and stuff like that. The windscreen that comes with it is significantly bigger and a little more firm compared to the previous one. So hopefully someone like me with a very pronounced P's and T's and S's and stuff, hopefully it kind of soothes that out a little bit here. But of course, quality to quality, that's what we wanted to check and see if there's any differences. So I just listened to the microphone playback, and it is very, very mild, the differences. The only difference I could really tell with the new one here is it felt like, again, the gain was increased by maybe 2 notches. And I didn't dabble with anything on my K7 or in the PC, straight plugged and play. And I just felt like this one was, again, maybe the volume was increased a little bit more. They both sounded pretty darn good. It's just maybe if you sound louder, you might want to tone these down or tone the old ones up, but they sounded incredibly similar. It's just this one maybe a little bit louder. So those are the key differences from the new Model 2 here. But the biggest thing you're going to notice with them is the sound difference, right? And you probably can piece together some of the things you're noticing, right? The ear pads and then that little bit inside. And what I like talking about is not so much like marketing material and stuff. I like talking about my experience. And my 2 games of choice that I was testing this on is Splitgate 2 and then Destiny. But what I always like doing, right? Not talking marketing material, but I like going by what these companies say. Like, what are they saying they're doing different, right? And you're seeing right here, optimized acoustic tuning in mid and upper frequencies. And then they're talking about the talisman over there, tuning device included, which should deliver that sound. So what I want to focus on is it doing that? Is it delivering that? And do you notice a difference? If you stuck through my original video, I think it was like 3 years ago on this here, like I praised this headset. It was awesome. It was totally cool, especially for its time, but it was definitely bass heavy. It was definitely fuller. It was immersive. When I brought it into an EQ, Dolby Atmos, or whatever I was using, I had to tone it down right there, right? It was a little bit heavier. Now, coming over to the new ones here, it's completely opposite, but it's not, I say completely opposite. Let me retract there. I want to say it's completely different, right? Because it's not screechy in the highs, but it's not warm in the bass like we got with the first version here. It's just balanced and natural. It feels more like a headphone than a gaming headset now. Hopefully that makes sense, because that truly sums it up right there. Like, you definitely got your highs, you got your low end down there when you need it. It's not constant, it's just there when you want it. Like myself playing Destiny, right? A sticky situation, I don't want it constant, like just rumbling in my ears. I don't want that, you know? And it was completely different from the old ones to the new ones, right? It really was. So, I mean, heck, if you like story-focused, that super deep, immersive type of sound, the originals will probably be your go-to, you know what I mean? This one here being a little bit more focused, again, towards that neutral sound. I don't even want to say like towards the highs or anything, because it's really not. It's just that balanced sound. Now, another thing I did try with the sound here, just trying to pick it apart, which we got a couple things to talk about here, right? The pads, these velour pads, you can buy these separately. I believe they're like $30, $35 or something like that. And I did put them on the previous version. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just the pads that's doing this, right? Fully pleather locking and all that bass. Well, no, because the original version was still more bassful. So I don't know if they dabbled with the tuning in there or whatever, but even with these pads, I did notice those being a little bit more bass heavy still, fuller sound, that mid-range, right? But they did brighten up a little bit. They definitely did from with the stock pads. And you'll notice that with any pad, right? Like, heck, I'm testing the, where are they? Here we go. We got them with the Maxwell's Gadgetry Techs, his stealth pads right here. And same type of situation you're going to get with these, a little bit more drastic with the stealth pads than the VZR Model 1s, especially with the stealth pads over here on the SteelSeries Novas, where there's no pleather lining in them. I'm working on a video on those, but anyway, if you've used those, that's the same type of experience you're over here getting with the Model 1s, the version 2 here. But the other thing that you're probably wondering is with this little deal, this talisman, however you say it, whatever it's called, this little gizmo here, is that making a difference? And I tested it in game. I took it out, I put it back in, right? And I tried to see, what am I really noticing, right? You might have to have like audiophile ears or some tester to see, okay, what is this really doing different? I will tell you what I noticed different whenever I took them in and out was that sound was directed more towards my ears, right? Like, so you got, imagine your ear pad, right? Stock, it's sitting like this, so it's sitting through there, and then sound bleeds out through it. Sound escapes through it, where you got the perforator holes, or you got a fully pleather ear pad, or a fully velour one, right? Or fully pleather one. It's gonna lock that sound in or let the sound out right there. So if you have this inside your ear pad, think about it, it's not touching your ear, all right? So you're not getting that when you're using it, but say if it's sitting right there, it's directing that sound right towards you. So you're getting a little bit more of that clarity thrown right at you rather than escaping out. Think about like an open back type of headphone, you know what I mean? That's what you really get, again, is that sound bleed, that sound escape out there, which a lot of people like, right? You get that airy, open type sound. Me personally, not a huge open back headphone fan, but again, I don't like that incredibly closed in with like fully pleather, because again, it can get a little bit bass heavy. So with this, it felt like, again, that perfect situation for both, right? I didn't have sweaty ears. I still got an open type of sound, but I still got that sound delivered right into my ears with the help of this little gizmo right here, which is super cool. So again, it's not massive improvements we're seeing here, but the differences are definitely noticeable. I would say there are massive differences in the sound for sure, but the differences you're seeing just seem kind of mild. And you know what really solidified my testing and again my overall conclusion of these new version 2 of the Model 1s here is whenever I was using the new ones, when I'm using my Fosse K7 over there, I caught myself cranking up the bass, like significantly, probably up around 7, you know, because again, in split gate, the footsteps are more like Halo, where it's more bass. You've got kind of thumpy type of sound. And then in Destiny, you want a little bit more immersion. So it's kind of opposite right here. And that's what just really kind of solidified it for me, right? Like, I don't need someone to tell me, like, once you put it on and sample it and hear it, and then it comes to life, like that really solidified it me. That was really cool. But the other conclusion I can have on this new headset is like, I can't sit here and tell you like, go get the upgrade, right? Would I recommend the headset? Like, yeah, for sure. It's a fantastic headset. It's built great. It sounds great. It's phenomenal. It's like a gaming headset with a pair of headphones, right? You're getting both the best worlds here now, especially with the updates, you know? But would I say go upgrade? Like, it's an expensive upgrade, guys. This is $350. It's not just, oh yeah, let me go on and try the new one, you know? What I would probably recommend you doing is maybe scooping up some of the replacement pads. I don't know if they're going to sell the Talisman separately. It would be kind of cool if they did. It seems pretty easy. You get it, you slap it in there, you know? But again, even going stock pads without that in there, these were still a little bit more heavy in the sound. But going with the replacement pads, it definitely cleared that up a little bit. So if you got the original ones, I would say snag the replacement pads first, give those a sample. If they're still too bass heavy for you, then go with the new versions here. But again, it's not something I can say, go out and upgrade, but it is still something I can say like, yeah, this is a fantastic product. And if you're looking for that headphone and headset, both the best of both worlds here, the VZR Model 1 version 2 is still a great pick.